Hey, Billy Robbins here, founder of Intent Company, and congratulations for finding this page. I'm finally going to demystify why all those random marketing things you've been doing over the years have never worked, right? You probably bought into building the funnel and doing the this and the Google and the whatever it was, and it didn't work, and you don't know why. I'm actually going to show you why it didn't work, and then I'm going to show you what you can do about it. So, every healthy business wants to grow. It's why we're in business, and many businesses I work with, they're like, hey, the only growth I seem to get is by referrals and word of mouth. And every time I try some kind of marketing, you know, tactic and what everybody brings to me and all the things that I get hit up with, it just doesn't work. And it kind of ends up feeling like a waste of money, right? I spend a ton of money. This growth's expensive. I bought the ads. I did the Facebook. I built the funnel. I built the whatever. And it just really felt like burning cash. Have you ever felt that way? Well, I'm sure you have. I felt that way. And I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of clients that have felt this way too. Well, let me explain what's going on. See, the things that you could do to grow are almost unlimited, right? And in digital marketing, there's always something coming up. We got TikTok came out, and then we got this strategy and that strategy, right? And you're like, well, what do I do? How do I do it? Well, here's the problem. A lot of these things are just shiny new toys. And I call this the shiny new toy syndrome. So you may have been infected with this syndrome in the past if when you look at the marketing that you're doing or you've done in the past, you're not sure what's working, what's not working. It's all very confusing. You may have often started some new initiative. Like I said, you saw a video, maybe a video like this. You got really excited. You said, "Oh yeah, guys, we're going after it." You start, and then it never finishes. Or when you're completed, it just loses, all the kind of juice that you had when you're first going, and it just doesn't work, right? You may also have many different things going on. You're sending emails, you're doing some social media, you're buying this, you're buying that, but you don't know what's going on. You don't know how they're all working together. This is the shiny new toy syndrome. And the reason that those strategies and things you've done in the past don't work is because they're actually not even a real strategy. See, tactics are not real strategies. TikTok is not a strategy. It's a tactic. It's a thing that we apply. If we, use the analogy of like building a house, right? You've got saws, you got hammers, you got all these different tools, and these different tools have different use cases depending on different scenarios, right? If you give me a saw, I'll probably cut my finger, but if you gave a saw to a master carpenter, they can build a house. They can build something amazing, right? So when we talk about things like funnels and email marketing and buying traffic and all those other things, they're not strategy. A funnel is not a strategy. It's a tactic. It's a tool. Now, here's one of the issues is that most professionals out there in the marketplace, they offer like one thing. They're like SEO is a really big thing. I'm sure you've been hit up by SEO agencies. And they promise you that if you fix your SEO, it'll solve everything. Well, what that is that if you're a hammer, every problem looks like a nail, right? So if you're an expert in that, that's how you try to solve every problem. But here's the thing. Businesses are different. Your business is different. Your customers are different. Everything that you're like have to work on is different. So your strategy needs to be dependent based on the uniqueness of your business, your goals, your staff, all those different things. Now, the essence of really a strategy is if you say the right thing to the right person at the right time, you're going to get the right result. Well, what is the right thing to say? Who are we saying it to? And what is the right time? Well, those are the processes you need to go through to develop a strategy. Okay. So copying somebody else's whatever they're doing is not a real strategy. You can't just copy what people do and call that a strategy. That's not going to work. Why? Because they have different customers, they have different staff, they have different needs. So you can't just copy what other people do. Okay. And you can't just give up and try something new every 3 months. That's not a strategy, right? What's that? That's the lottery syndrome, right? And it's the get rich quick syndrome. And I'm not saying you have a get rich quick business, but sometimes we treat our marketing that way. We just think that, as soon as I start the Google ads, we're going to be super rich. As soon as I do SEO, as soon as I start email marketing, and we get all excited because of the hype that's been told to us, we start the doohickey and it doesn't work and we're disappointed again. And then we're at the stage where we're like, you know what, forget it. Marketing doesn't work. It's all a sham. It's all a scam. And I'm just going to stick to getting referrals. Have you been there? Well, Here's a great quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson. It says, "As to methods, there may be a million and then some, but principles are few. The man who grasps principles can successfully select his own methods. The man who tries methods ignoring principles is sure to have trouble." Very wise words. So the principles of success, the principles of anything, need to dictate what methods we use. Or to use it in our terms right now, the strategy that we have is way more important than the tactics, and the strategy should dictate what tactics we use and we don't use. Okay? So before I share the strategy and actually the methodology, let me share just a little bit about myself. My name is Billy Robbins. I am not some internet guru who has only made money selling products and trainings and things on the internet. I have been doing full service digital marketing for 19 years. I founded an agency and a consultancy 8 years ago called Intent Company. I've worked with thousands of brands. I've had the opportunity to manage hundreds upon hundreds of millions of dollars of ad spend and marketing services. And I've had the opportunity to influence billions, multiple billions of dollars of revenue. And even in that time, I've been able to be a consultant to agencies. So some of those agencies that are trying to sell you all this stuff, well, they have me come in and try to help them be more well-rounded and actually develop better strategies. Here are some of the customers that I've been able to build marketing strategies over the years. As you can see, some big companies, some small companies, kind of across the board, services, software, retail, e-commerce, all kind of above, in between. And really what I want to share with you is, again, a strategy of success. So the strategy doesn't change. The principles of success don't change. The nuance, the particulars, the tactics change very much between all of these different customers. Why? Because they have unique value. They have different customers. Those customers want different things. They expect different things. So there has to be nuance in how you develop it. So what is the strategy? Well, this is a place where I think I should probably just kind of weed some people out here. Okay. The overarching strategy of all business should be to serve people and solve problems, not sell products. So if you're a business that does not care about the people that you serve, your customers, and you're not really interested in the problem you solve, you're literally just trying to make a buck. Like you're trying to figure out what's the thing that you can sell to make money and do the thing. If that's you, just stop watching this video right now, because everything I'm going to share with you is not going to work. I care about real companies that want to serve real people and solve real problems, and the strategies that I have developed are really about that. So this will not work for you if you're just trying to figure out the newest kind of like trick to make $1 and how to leverage the algorithm or the YouTube thing or the whatever. Just move on. This is not for you. So if you're still with me and you actually care about your customers and the problems you solve, the overarching strategy of all success, it's an age-old principle. You probably know it, but you don't really know it, right? Like you kind of get it, but you don't get it, okay? And it's called the customer journey. And this is where we have to stop looking at our problems, stop looking at like what we do, and actually look at our business and the offering through the eyes of our customer, because their journey is what we need to influence. In fact, all marketing really is helping to influence the journey that our best customers take, to give them the inspiration, the knowledge, the wisdom, the whatever they need at the right time to help them come to the decision that your product, your service, your company is the best fit to serve them and to solve the problems that they have. That's it. Okay. And there's really only 4 problems we have to solve. The first one is the awareness problem. So the first step is just to say, like, every person must, or every business must help influence their best customers to become aware that they exist. I like to call this, I know you. Like, hey, I know who you are. And that's the first step. And that's sometimes the hardest step, especially for smaller companies. Like, how do I, in this big pool, how do I get somebody to know that I exist? Right? Well, that's the first problem you have to solve. The second one is I like you, or affinity. Right? So it's one thing to know about someone. It's another thing for them to like you and to say, you know what, I like these guys and I think that they can probably take care of my problem. So that's step 2. Step 3 is action, or I believe you. And I think that phrase is very important. The first time that someone buys anything from you, what they're actually saying is, I believe that you can solve my problem, right? It's an engagement to say, okay, I'm going to pull out my wallet. I'm going to use this credit card and I'm going to give you that money because I believe that when I give you that money, you're going to solve the problem that you said you could. But they don't actually know you can until you deliver the goods. And the fourth step of a high-performing, ethical, and effective marketing strategy is advocacy. And that's, I trust you. See, you already know this to be true because if you're like a lot of people I talk to, like I said, you're kind of a little leery on all this marketing stuff because you haven't seen it be really successful. But you know about referrals. You know about having great customer service and relationship and people liking you and sending you things. Well, you know what you've been doing? You've been doing advocacy marketing really well. You delivered the goods, you added lots of value, you make it easy for people to send referrals your way. So actually, you're already tapped into one of the key four parts. You're building brand advocates. So if you think about what we're talking about here and you look at it in the context of a funnel, there's more people who know that you exist than like you. There's more that like you than believe you, and there's more that believe you than trust you. So ultimately, all we're trying to do is create systems that get more of the right people to know we exist and bring them through the process till they trust you and they become advocates. Really, creating a reliable system at each stage of the customer journey that creates these brand advocates is like the key to the vault. It's like printing money. You can do whatever you want when you figure out these four pieces. That's all you got to do. So it's the combination. So what is the right combination? What is the right thing to do to get people to be aware? What's the right thing to get them to develop affinity and action and advocacy? Well, I couldn't tell you right now, but I can show you the process that we'd go through. So as I said, strategies are more important than tactics. Principles are more important than methods. So the overarching strategy is serve people, solve problems. Do it through leading people through the customer journey. Have reliable systems at all four of those points. That's the strategy. That's the big thing that you're trying to figure out. And I don't care if you're a big company, a little company. I don't care if you do services, if you do e-commerce, if you do software. That doesn't change. What I just showed you is the same for all businesses. This process here that we call the intent method, the proven process for purpose-driven brands to grow revenue, reduce cost, and make a greater impact. These 5 steps are the methodology, the process that we go to figure out what that looks like specifically for you, what it looks like specifically for your business, what's going to resonate most. And so we have brand intent, which is basically taking a look at what does success look like in the first place? What does it look like to be successful? What is the revenue, the impact, the whatever you're trying to create? But then also, what is the unique thing that your business does better than everybody else? What is the unique thing? Why do people buy from you? What's the value that your products and your services and everything that you are brings to the table? You have to clearly define that and define it in a way that's easy to tell to other people. The second step is customer intent. And that's basically understanding, well, what is their intentions? What are they needing, right? Like, how are you going to get people to be aware or create affinity if you don't even know who they are and what their true motivations are? And I'm just talking about hey, I want to buy a doohickey. No, it's like, what are the core reasons that they buy? Why do they buy from you and not somebody else? Or why do they buy from somebody else and not you? You need to know those answers. Well, guess what? There's a process that you can go through to understand those things. So when you understand your brand intent, you understand the customer intent, well, now we can actually build a map. We can build a customer journey map. This is kind of the essence of the strategy. We can understand, okay, what are we going to do at awareness? What are we going to do at affinity, action, advocacy, okay? Then just having that is one thing, but now we need an action plan to actually build those as systems or automation, right? How do we go and create those processes at each of those 4 stages? And then the 5th stage is basically optimization. So I will tell you, whatever we come up with, and obviously I'm going to encourage you to take some steps with me to help you do that. But whatever you come up with as that plan for that whole strategic process, whatever you do, it's not going to be perfect. And so don't worry about being perfect. Worry about having something that makes sense and then continually making it better. And that's what optimization is. And that's the nice part about having a system. If you have a system, you can scale it, you can increase, you can test it, you can make it better. And by continually doing that, you're going to develop a well-oiled machine at each of the 4 stages, and you're going to see tremendous success in your marketing. So that's what I wanted to help you with. Okay, so we have a challenge. We call it the Real Marketing Strategy Challenge. And I say real marketing strategy because, again, most businesses don't have a real marketing strategy. They have a bunch of random tactics that they do because they hired somebody who seems to be good at social. So they post on Instagram 4 times a day, but it's really never brought in $5 or more than 3 visits to the website, but nobody even knows how to measure it anyway. If it hurts, let it hurt good. I'll help solve that problem. Okay, so here we go. There's a 5-day workshop that I want to invite you to. It's a challenge. So it's going to be more than just a workshop. It's a workshop plus some homework and some efforts and things you can do. So 5 days, hour-long sessions. I will personally be leading you through that intent method process to develop this high-performing marketing strategy with action plans. We can implement it, the whole kind of thing. You're going to walk away with exactly knowing what to do, what your action plan's going to be, worksheets, the whole nine. It's going to be an awesome process through these 5 days. So you get the 5-day workshop, you get the action plan, and then also we're creating a private Facebook group. So you'll be able to kind of tap in, see all the videos. They'll all be up there. And be able to engage with all the other participants in the challenge, get feedback. Like I said, we'll have homework every single day. So also, we'll give you the replay videos. So all of the we'll record all of the sessions. You'll be able to go through those again and again. And then also for our VIP. So VIP ticket, which is $297 for the 5 days, is also going to include a 1-hour Q&A call every day. So an hour before our live call, which is live calls are from 12 to 1. That's the workshop call, 12 to 1 Eastern time. From 11 to 12, we'll have our QA calls. So basically, you can just ask any questions that you have. We'll answer questions. We'll give you feedback. Just basically give you free consulting for 5 hours because it's an hour each day. So, that's actually a tremendous value. Clients that would be paying for 5 hours consultant time would easily be paying, $10,000 for that. In addition to the VIP ticket, I'm also giving our foundations course. So this is a content marketing course, and you'll be able to take some of the insights that you're learning from the workshops, from the challenge, and then you'll be able to build an entire content marketing strategy. And then also for everybody who buys the VIP ticket at $297, I'm giving a 10 times guarantee. Well, what's that? Well, if you attend all the meetings, you have your camera on, you're participating, you're taking notes, you're actually actively engaged in the challenge. And then after those 5 days, you don't believe that you got 10 times the value. You didn't get 10 times the value of that $297 ticket. You just put in customer support. You say, you know what? I didn't find the value in this, and we will refund you 100%. And then you can even keep the foundations course for trying it out. So this is our workshop and our challenge, and I'd really love to have you join. On this page is a place that you can click, you can get set up, and you'll see a date and time for our upcoming challenge. We do them monthly, so you'll see exactly when they are. So sign up, get in the challenge, let's get going, and let's build a highly effective and ethical marketing strategy for your business. This is Billy Robbins. Appreciate you taking the time, and we'll see you in the challenge. Thanks.